What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, and this is actually a redo of a reaction that was compromised by a corrupted file, which is to say, a big friend and champion of the channel, Mikey, sent me a file of a track that he wanted me to react to. It was sort of a lucky dip, I suppose. And ultimately, I did a reaction to it, and then I uploaded it onto my computer like I do. You know, when I'm shooting these reactions, I shoot one, I upload it to my computer, and while it's processing, I'm shooting another one, and so on. So I had like a conveyor belt going. And then I uploaded it to the file, or to my computer, and then I went to process it. And as I put it into the video processing software I use, it was like, you know, this file is invalid. It like doesn't, I forget the exact like error message that it put out, but basically it like the file was incomplete or something, which that's happened, I'd say maybe 3 times in the entire run of me shooting videos. First couple times was pretty early on, so I think they were both like techno tracks, but bottom line, the file was like unsalvageable. So yeah, I have just heard this tune, but as I was telling Mikey, like, especially when it comes to like techno and trance and like dance music tunes, and this is a dance tune, I would say rather than calling it trance or techno, I would be more inclined to refer to it as like that early rave breakbeat kind of style. So like, you know, that 92, 93, maybe even 91 sort of, again, like breakbeat, sometimes called hardcore, but I tend to stay away from that label because the music that came out of, you know, Rotterdam and other places in Holland in the following years is a very different beast, so I try to, you know, again, like early breakbeat. Regardless of all that, the point is, I tend to listen to tunes a few times before I really start to get a sense of them. So like, you know, I'll buy a techno record these days, and after 4, 5, 6, 7 listens, it's like, okay, now I'm getting a sense of like what the tune is and what my opportunities are for mixing in, mixing out, and so on. So again, this isn't my first time hearing this, but this will still be very fresh, and I'm still, you know, collating data about the tune in my brain. So with no further ado, let's listen again. This is Eon, E-O-N, E-O-N, because I was, like in the UK, isn't it often like A-E-O-N? Either way, it's E-O-N, and the track is Inner Mind, though this is specifically the Deep Thought mix.
We will control all that you see and hear. We will control all that you see and hear. We will control all that you see and hear. We will control all that you see and hear.
Like a lot of techno, it has that dystopian feel with that sample. I guess you could call it house, but it has that like, has that syncopated rhythm. I love this part. This is very like old school breaks. But that harder like alarm synth. I don't know if that's a 303, but it might be. This. It might be. Again, you gotta listen to tunes a few times. Which is a product of our brain. It's a soulful vocal, but it's a bit ghostly too. It's like otherworldly. I do like the sudden, deep, nasty bass groove. me of the late 90s, early 2000s would definitely pop off. It's a good blend of the like heavier and sharp with the atmospheric and melodic. Sweeping in, sweeping out. I remember, like, literally at the same part last time thinking, like, dude, the kick, it's got some punch. It is not a soft or commercial kick. Banshee Bird still haunting us. And I do think it made me chuckle last time. Yeah, it's a cool tune. It's like there's a series of tracks, and I think I'll actually put this in this playlist. Now, I don't know this to be the case, and perhaps Mikey did explain what year it's from. In the moment, I don't remember that, so if that is the case, apologies. But yeah, like I said, my guess would be any time from very late 80s to like 93, like 89 to 93, somewhere in there. And I do have a playlist, much underserviced, and for that, apologies to Tassos, who was, involved in, picking some tunes that would be good, and I will get back to it. But there's a playlist of early rave tunes, is what I called it. And, for me, like, the genres that I've pursued as a DJ that I listen to the most intensely, acid trance, acid techno, the tunes that I like in particular, they're like 93 and later, and in particular by the time you get to 96 is where I like the stuff that I really, really like. That's 96 to 98 is, sort of the golden period for me. But that's because of when I began to going to parties, when I began to listen to this kind of music. So yeah, for a slightly older generation who were going to undergrounds or eventually, rave parties in the early 90s, those types of genres, I would imagine, are as nostalgic to them as, again, like mid-90s trance and techno is for me. So a lot of the early rave tunes, including some of those that I have lined up to react to in this playlist, are like before my time, and they're maybe not like my absolute favorite when it comes to old school tracks, but again, they're the like godfathers or the grandfathers upon which later artists and genres or subgenres were able to develop. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going through more of those, and presuming this is from around that time. Again, it could be a little later in the 90s, it could even be an 80s tune. My inclination is to think it would be more 90s, but yeah, for the time being, I'm going to put it in the early rave reaction playlist as well as the Lucky Dip playlist, because I think it fits in both, at least stylistically. In any case, big shout out to Mikey. I do appreciate you sharing this, and thank you for your patience. It took me a couple days longer, and also had a glitch with a file, which again, that's like the third time maybe that's ever happened. And also, again, shout out to you for helping with the Ace of Base reactions. Just really appreciate your involvement in the channel. Do let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.